And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
From the makers of Guerrilla Games, who made Battle Stations and Lifeboat, comes another game, a small game that simply asks the question, who would win? I like that. A good idea. Basically, this is a party game. It's a game that involves a little bit of debate, a bit of creativity, and quite a bit of zaniness. Look at the cards.
The game comes with 2 decks of cards, a deck of people and a deck of competitions. These people are all sorts of people, and so when it's your turn in the game, you simply draw a character. So for example here, I have the character of Barbie, and you pick your opponent, and that's picked by the person who sits next to you, then the person who sits 2 seats away from you, and so on and so forth. And you give them their character. Barbie versus Godzilla. Alright, so Barbie vs. Godzilla, what are they fighting in? What is their combat? Customer service. And so for 20 seconds then, which is used by this handy-dandy little timer, for 20 seconds I have to explain why Barbie would kick Godzilla's butt when it comes to customer service. Then my opponent has 20 seconds to explain why Godzilla would crush Barbie when it comes to customer service. And then I would have a 5-second rebuttal to explain why my opponent's argument about Godzilla was so very wrong. Everybody then simultaneously points their fingers to the person they think won the argument. That person gets to keep this card, and the game continues. For example, we might have Cleopatra against Al Capone in a singing contest. Or you might have Marilyn Monroe versus Barry Bonds in a chess competition. Or you might have Darth Vader versus William Shakespeare in the hurdles. And there's tons and tons of just different combinations. They're really endless. They did a good job at picking people who were real, people who are fictional, and the contests range from physical to mental to stupid, and it's funny putting it together. But I think the best way for me to demonstrate exactly how this game works is for me to show you my co-host from the Dice Tower, Eric Summer, and I doing a pretend game of this at Origins 2009. All right,
So
here we go.
Random?
Completely random.
Here we go with Tom Vasel and Eric Summer playing Who Would Win. Okay.
All right. We got Bruce Lee, martial arts movie star, versus. Well, let's find out who you're
Versus Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse in horseshoes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Bruce Lee has the amazing ability to focus his power and, with a grunt of energy, to toss the horseshoe in exactly the right trajectory where it will do several mid-air maneuvers and land precisely in the location it needs to land in. And then he'll give a swift kick to Mickey Mouse so he can't actually throw the horseshoe.
Time.
If you've watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, first of all, you know that kicking Mickey Mouse isn't going to do anything in the first place. Secondly, as the horseshoe's flying through the air, Pluto comes, runs off with the horseshoe, disappears. Normally that would disqualify them, but since this is a cartoon, obviously Mickey Mouse can do anything he wants. Besides, I'm pretty sure every single Mickey Mouse cartoon I've ever seen in the history of Disney, Mickey Mouse has always won, regardless of what guest star might show up in that.
Yes, but Bruce Lee, this is 5 seconds, Bruce Lee will overdub the Mickey Mouse cartoon, making it incomprehensible, and therefore he will win.
All right, who would win? I'm going to call it a draw.
I hate ties! Well, there you go, and basically that's how the game works. Now, what are going to be some problems with this game? One of them is obviously going to be that people can deliberately vote for someone who they like or dislike. You'll have husband and wives who only vote for each other or who never vote for each other. But that's a problem with your playing group, I think. If you want to have a good time, get with some people who are creative, who will actually award the best arguments or the funniest arguments or the most ludicrous arguments, whatever they might be, and it can be a real blast. I like games that encourage this sort of creativity, funny business, get Paul that promotion, games that encourage you to think of something and then try to get everyone else. This is a debate game. It might even be worth playing in debate class. However, I don't know how useful it is. It's more along the silly lines. But here's the thing. These are the arguments that matter. You'll find some people out there who will debate endlessly on the best way to fix the world's flagging economy? Or is the ozone layer fact or fiction, or is it as bad as people might say it is? And you know, people who argue endlessly on both sides. But if you are even remotely a nerd or a closet nerd, you'll know that people really want to know, would Michael Jordan beat Bugs Bunny in basketball? Or more importantly, would Babe Ruth beat Mickey Mouse in a game of checkers? That's the stuff that we really want to know, and that's the stuff that matters. Or at least it does in this game. Try it out.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.